It's probably the first role that I feel like I've really been trusted with the magnitude of a story. And I feel very much the responsibility of doing a good job. And I think also because it was my first show in the company, it always feels like a full circle moment coming back to it.
Being part of this history and this legacy is unique. I wasn't aware that it was going to be as successful and pivotal for many dancers and their careers. I talk to young dancers that say, oh yes, I came to see the show and that's what encouraged me to carry on, and it kind of changed my path and I decided that's what I wanted to do. So I joined Swan Lake straight after college. It was my first professional job. So it was really exciting. And I was so blown away by how individual the performers were. And the women were incredible because they were all very strong. And I think that's something really exciting about the show, is that the women are all very individual and they create their own character.
Mine is actually scarily similar. I auditioned for Cinderella when I was in my third year, but then I ended up going into Swan Lake, so Swan Lake was my first show as well. And it wasn't until then, 8 years later, that then I came back to Swan Lake to then play the Queen. So I kind of gone from playing Italian princess and then graduated the next time round into playing the Queen.
I really enjoyed going into a character that has this journey through the whole piece.
The distinction that I always make is the obviously Act 1 and Act 3. So it's the same person, two different layers of a personality. I think the first one is like the job, the duty, you know, what she does, her job as Queen. And then Act 3 is, you know, the palace doors are closed. It's just people of your own rank and you get to be yourself a little bit more.
That sense of freedom and liberating yourself from all these restrictions is great, but then it takes a darker edge, the facade, and then the darker side, what happens behind closed doors.
Yeah. You have the Queen Elizabeth, as your reference for Act 1, and then young Princess Margaret as reference for Act 3. So there's the like public side and then there's the private.
Approaching the role is understanding why she's unable to connect with her son. So it's quite hard to interpret a character that in a way goes against her motherly nature.
You find the reason why you can't connect. I made the decision that my interpretation of the Queen, until she sees that he can do it, I can't allow that softness to come through.
In every story, there has to be a pull from both directions. So for the prince, there's a pull between the love he feels for the swan stranger and the pull from this conflict he has with his mother. When you go into a character that happens to be on the bad side, if you can call it that way, you sort of have to commit, being cold and being harsh and also slightly competitive with your son. So it's difficult sometimes because you want to connect with the audience on a nice level, but you can't.